Hey guys, this is Hunter with You Don't Know Ball. Today we're going to be looking at Bucky Brooks Mock Draft 2.0 on NFL.com. As always, if you don't know ball and want to know ball, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know your favorite pick from this mock draft, your least favorite pick from this mock draft. Also, we are going to be live today streaming commentary about the combine all day. Quarterbacks, running backs, receivers. Me and Dobbs are going to be talking about it on the live stream on this channel. So after this video, go check it out. We're going to be there all day. We've had 2 great days prior. We've had people in there talking all day. It's been really fun. So would love to see you guys in there. Let's get right into it. He says, with the league gathering in Indianapolis for the 2024 NFL Scouting Combine, it's a good time to provide my second projection of how the entire first round will play out in Detroit. At number 1, we have the Chicago Bears going Caleb Williams. Not much of a surprise there. I think with the way things have gone at the Combine so far, I think things are leaning that way. I think it's become more and more obvious that the Bears are going to be moving on and trading Justin Fields. At number 2, okay, so we have the Washington Commanders taking Jaden Daniels. So this is interesting because I have been very more on the Drake May being number 2, but I have seen some stuff trending that Jaden Daniels actually might be number 2. Do I think that's the right choice? Personally, no, but at the end of the day, I am sitting in my room, and these guys are getting paid to make very, 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 very drastic decisions for their NFL franchise. So maybe Jaden Daniels is that guy. I just don't think he is going to be able to translate to the NFL level as much as a Drake May or a Caleb Williams could. At number 3, we have the New England Patriots taking Drake May. Normally, I've been against the Patriots taking a quarterback move, but if it is going to be Drake May and not Jaden Daniels available there at 3, I don't think it's an easy thing to pass up. Like, he, in my opinion, is the second-rated quarterback in this draft, and you can't forget, Jaden Daniels is a 5th-year senior. Drake May is basically in his 2nd year. So, honestly, don't love the situation for him, though. Don't like the O-line, don't like the wide receivers there for him. Good pick, but also tough pick. You don't want to screw up, May like you did Mac Jones. At number 4, we have the Arizona Cardinals taking Marvin Harrison Jr. Listen, if Marvin Harrison Jr. is there for, unless someone is going to give the Cardinals a haul to move up and the Cardinals are willing to move out, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the way to go. At number 5, we have the Los Angeles Chargers taking Joe Alt. I have been on the Chargers taking a tackle train for quite a while. I think just with the way, so he even says it, Jim Harbaugh's commitment to the running game could lead the Chargers to pick this standout blocker, adding toughness and physicality to a front line expected to move defenders at the point of attack. I don't think there's anything more to say. There's a lot of people that want the Chargers to take a wide receiver. I think Trey Pipkins, yeah, you can get by with him. But if you have a line of Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, Pipkins is your swing tackle, you got some good things cooking there. At number 6, we have the New York Giants taking Malik Neighbors. So here's my thing. I think they will take a receiver here if they don't go quarterback, because I've been hearing more and more that the Giants are getting very, very greedy for a quarterback. So an easy trade that could happen, maybe, because I don't see really anyone, I don't see the Chargers trading out. It's very possible someone can come up and get a quarterback, but I think they want a tackle or a top guy in this draft. I think Jim Harbaugh is not going to trade out his first draft. Swap with the Cardinals. Giants swap with the Cardinals. Marvin Harrison Jr. could then possibly fall to 6, and the Giants move up and get their quarterback, whether that's J.J. McCarthy or whoever is there at 4. But they go Malik Neighbors here, who I think is a stud, and some NFL teams have him higher than Marvin Harrison Jr. on their draft boards. At number 7, we have the Tennessee Titans taking Rome Odunze. As a Bears fan, this makes me really sad. No wide receiver there at 9. Good thing you guys cheered for wins later in the year. Really got us better draft position, and we still missed the playoffs. So, but anyway, Rome Odunze to the Titans. I just think with the way that Treylon Burks hasn't really panned out, D-Hop is kind of on his last year, I think a tackle here would be smarter for the future. But giving, Will Levis a number 1 weapon will be very good for him. The only thing I struggle with, though, is you'd almost want to, I don't know. I don't know if you want a more established guy that's not going to take time to develop. I think Rome will be a good NFL player, but Levis is already going to be in his second year, which not bad. I mean, obviously, but he wasn't a first rounder. So he only has 4 years on a rookie contract. Obviously, if he's your guy, you're going to extend him anyway. It doesn't really matter. But, you can then get that wide receiver 1 in there with more experience, so they're ready to go, and then you can figure out quicker if Levis is going to be your guy down the road. Rome Odunze, not a bad pick. I think the Titans need receivers regardless. At number 8, we have the Atlanta Falcons taking Dallas Turner. I'll tell you this. The way Dallas Turner performed at the Combine yesterday, his athleticism was on display. It was crazy. It would be hard to see the Falcons passing up on Turner. Not that they wouldn't go another position, but if they are targeting edge, it's hard to see Verse or Latu go ahead of him at this point. At number 9, we have the Chicago Bears taking Latu. So I wouldn't be mad with an edge here. I'm really on board with taking an offensive weapon to pair with Caleb Williams. But if they're off the board, I mean, I don't know, maybe even go Brock Bowers here. I think Latu is not a bad option. I'd also be okay with Verse. I don't know though I'm either of the belief that the edges are going to go really early and one of them's going to drop, like 2 of them are going to go early, one's going to drop to the late first, or maybe they just all go later. I don't know. It's really going to depend on how the draft falls. I think it's going to depend on how greedy teams start to get for those top 4 quarterbacks. At number 10, we have the New York Jets taking Talisa Fuaga. Honestly, it makes the most sense. They need a pass protector, and not even a pass protector, just a protector for the offensive line. That thing is going to fall apart if they do not build up that offensive line. And I really wonder if they're going to take like a heavy free agent approach to that offensive line this year. So good pick. He's going to dominate in the run game for Breece Hall. At number 11, we have the Minnesota Vikings taking Jared Verse. I saw this stat somewhere that the Vikings haven't taken like a first-round edge rusher since like 2005, and I very well could be wrong. Danielle Hunter is looking like he's going to be a free agent. So yeah, adding Jared Verse, who is a power rusher who is very, very fast, I think it would be awesome for Brian Flores and his scheme. Actually, he says that right here. At number 12, we have the Denver Broncos taking J.J. McCarthy. Honestly, if McCarthy falls to 12, which I don't think he's going to, I honestly think some team is going to trade up and go get him in the top 10. The Denver Broncos have to take him. I mean, with the way Sean Payton is kind of handling the Russ situation, Russ is not going to be a Bronco next year. It has not worked out. Sean Payton wants to get this thing rolling sooner rather than later, and you have to do that with your own quarterback. At number 13, we have the Las Vegas Raiders taking Olu Fashanu. So this is kind of surprising. Not that the Raiders are taking Olu, but more of the fact that as time has gone on, Olu has started to fall out of the top 10. And I think you're getting a very, very good pass protector here. But from what I've been hearing at the Combine, not at the Combine, from the Combine, I'm not there, obviously, but he's a very, very good pass protector. But it doesn't seem like teams are super, super high on him. Maybe after his pro day and Combine on tomorrow, that will change. But I think the Raiders get a guy who is ready to hold down that line for the foreseeable future. At number 14, we got the Saints taking J.C. Latham. Makes a lot of sense. Trevor Penning kind of been up and down. Don't really know what you're getting. Ryan Ramczyk's got the knee. J.C. Latham, I think, is going to be a great player for the Saints in the NFL. At number 15, we have the Indianapolis Colts taking Terrion Arnold. CB1 is off the board. Makes a lot of sense here. Arnold has great potential. He is very young. The way he improved this last year at Alabama, super athletic guy. But I will say, he did snap on, I loved how he played on the gauntlet. I think he ran like a 4.51 or 4.54, so nothing crazy on the 40. I was a little disappointed, honestly, but, in-game speed is much different than a 40-yard dash. At number 16, we have the Seattle Seahawks taking Brock Bowers. Okay, so honestly, with the way the board has fell here, I just did my mock draft madness that I think it's going to either come out before this video today or later today. I had the Colts trading back with the Bengals to take Brock Bowers because I think in this range is where he's going to go. And with the way the board fell, the Colts could get really any of the top corners here, unless they have Terrion Arnold graded way above where, the other corners are. So at number 16, the Seattle Seahawks taking Brock Bowers. I don't think it's a bad pick, and I think, you have a ridiculous number of weapons on offense, but I think this would have been a prime spot for like Jackson Powers-Johnson. You really need to figure out that interior of the line, and Geno Smith is kind of on the last year of his contract, so I also would not be as surprised if Seattle goes up and takes a quarterback this year, or maybe even takes Michael Penix later in the first or the second round, maybe trading back into the first. But that would be kind of hard because I don't think they have a second round pick actually. So yeah, Brock Bowers, I like it. I think that gives any quarterback that they have a lot of options on offense. At number 17, we have Nate Wiggins to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Nate Wiggins ran a 4.28 40. Talk about fast. I think John Ross was like 4.22, but regardless, they haven't had a dominant CB1 since Jalen Ramsey's been there, and I think this pick makes a lot of sense for the Jaguars because there is a lot of, I don't want to say holes, like there's not like glaring holes on the Jaguars, but there's a lot of areas that need to be better, and corner is definitely one of them. At number 18, we have Jerzon Newton to the Cincinnati Bengals. I like this pick a lot. I think Newton has fallen a lot, but I think he can provide instant impact to any teams that he's drafted to, and putting him on a line with the Cincinnati Bengals where they have like a Trey Hendrickson. And then just to add that interior force, the Bengals, if they come back healthy next year, I would watch out. They sound like they're trying to make, I mean, obviously every year they're trying to make a Super Bowl run. Like, I'm not trying to make it seem like they're not, but I think they are going to come out next year with a lot to prove. At number 19, we have the Los Angeles Rams taking Chop Robinson. So, Chop is going to probably go earlier than a lot of people expect because his combine was ridiculous. He ran like a 4.54 40, and putting him next to Aaron Donald to learn, I think would be a home run for the Rams, and Chop Robinson to the Rams makes so much sense. I think we're going to see him go a lot earlier than people think. I think he's working his way up the draft boards every day all the way up until draft day. At number 20, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking Amarius Mims. Put the Georgia tackle next to the other Georgia tackle they drafted next year. You had Broderick Jones. Amarius Mims has a lot of time to develop. He only played 800 snaps at Georgia. But here's what I will say. This is the thing, okay? They took that approach with Broderick Jones last year. They didn't play him right off the bat. They let him sit. They let him learn. They know how to do that, and I think Amarius Mims is going to be the same approach if they take him here. And you could go interior. You could argue like maybe a Zach Frazier or even a Jackson Powers-Johnson since he's not off the board yet. But I think Amarius Mims, I think tackle is a little bit more important than the interior. I think the interior is a little bit easier to fill. At number 21, we have the Miami Dolphins taking Troy Fontanu. Makes a lot of sense. They need help on that interior, and he was a tackle in college, and with the injuries to Teron Armstead, I know you signed Austin Jackson for 3 years, a 3-year extension. I think, you can play him anywhere on the interior, maybe not center as much, maybe more guards, which they need help with anyway. But if Teron Armstead goes down, just kick Troy Fontanu out to left tackle. You can do it. At number 22, we have the Philadelphia Eagles taking Quinyon Mitchell. I like Quinyon Mitchell a lot. I know there's some up and down feelings about him just from what I was gathering from the chat. Shout out Marina. But I think Quinyon Mitchell could be a great pick for the Philadelphia Eagles. I know you would probably rather see Cooper DeJean here because of his ability to play safety as well. But Quinyon Mitchell, I think, could be a good player for the Philadelphia Eagles. At number 23, we have the Houston Texans taking Byron Murphy. Byron Murphy impressed at the combine, in my opinion. And I think adding an interior rusher, I know, Sarah, you're going to like this one, next to Will Anderson, and if you're able to re-sign Jonathan Grenard or bring in another edge rusher, that Houston Texans defensive line is getting scary, and D'Amico Ryans is set to cook. At number 24, we have the Dallas Cowboys taking Tyler Guyton. Okay, Guyton is a little bit of a project. He's 6'7". Tyron Smith could be leaving a free agency. We know the Cowboys are willing to take home run shots. This could be a home run shot, but I just don't know. I don't know if I like that right away if Tyron Smith is able to leave. You got Tyler Smith last year. Biadasz is also a free agent. I just feel like maybe going Jackson Powers-Johnson here, like a Graham Barton, would have been a better option. But I can't hate on the Cowboys taking a shot. At number 25, we have Cooper DeJean going to the Green Bay Packers. They need help with corners. They need help with safety. And Cooper DeJean can play both. I think he's probably one of the more underrated players in the draft here this year, and I think he would be a perfect addition to the Green Bay DB room. At number 26, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking Brian Thomas Jr. Mike Evans, it was reported yesterday that he's going to test free agency, and I think if you're going to lose that size, you want to give Baker Mayfield another big target. I think that's what he found success with when he came to the Buccaneers. Not to say Chris Godwin was phased out, but you can definitely see Baker Mayfield really had a favorite in that offense. So giving him another big wide receiver in Brian Thomas Jr. would be great, especially if you're going to extend him for quite a long time. At number 27, we have the Arizona Cardinals taking Kool-Aid McKinstry. Funny as hell, in the mock draft madness I did, I have the same stuff going for most of these. And yeah, actually, I think I have the same stuff going for... No, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so Arizona Cardinals taking Kool-Aid McKinstry, get a CB1 in that room. They don't really have one. They have a lot of holes they need to fill. Really, anywhere for the Arizona Cardinals here makes sense. At number 28, we have the Buffalo Bills. The only thing I will say about Kool-Aid McKinstry is during his medicals yesterday, they found a fracture in his foot, so he didn't participate in the combine, but he's going to be participating at his pro day. At number 28, Keon Coleman to the Bills. Give a big body receiver next to Stephon Diggs. Josh Allen can put it up. It's really going to depend on his 40 today, I think, where he's drafted. If he runs like sub 4.5, I think he could go in the first round. If it's over 4.5, I think he's an early second. At number 29, we have the Detroit Lions taking Braylon Trice. So Braylon Trice, a little bit smaller guy. I think he will be a good player in the league, and I think putting him opposite of Aiden Hutchinson will be good for the Lions. I think you could also... Well, actually, I don't know where you'd go interior here. You could also go Darius Robinson, since he is a little bit more of a tweener. You can play him inside, you can play him outside. But regardless, good pick for the Lions. I think they need to work on that defensive line. But Latu hasn't gone yet, right? Oh, yeah, he did go 9. He did go 9 to the Bears. That's why I was so surprised he went early. At number 30, we have the Baltimore Ravens taking Jordan Morgan. Morgan Moses is getting older. Ronnie Stanley's getting older. They both kind of dealt with some injuries. Not anything crazy, but, you got to start building that youth on that line. And Jordan Morgan could be a good fit for the Ravens. He kind of held his own at Arizona. He's nothing to scoff at, not a scrub. Definitely a late first could be used on him. And, the Ravens have always had like a decent O-line, and I think the way they do it is they just take the best player available, and Jordan Morgan might be the best player available at this point. At number 31, we have the San Francisco 49ers taking Graham Barton. He could play tackle. He played tackle at Duke, so maybe replace McKivitz. Or, you can play him really anywhere on the interior. Probably, obviously, with these guys, it's more guard than center, but if you need them to play center, I'm sure he could. And Graham Barton is probably one of the safest picks in the draft this year for interior O-line, so not a bad pick by the San Francisco 49ers. At number 29, we have the Kansas City Chiefs beefing up that interior with Darius Robinson, who could also play edge. Let's see if they bring back Chris Jones, which I think they will. You have Carl Loftus. So they drafted Felix Anudike-Uzomah last year, so really investing in that defensive line. Overall, interesting mock draft from Bucky Brooks. I'm actually surprised because the mock draft I did earlier lined up a little bit with this, so I guess it wasn't too crazy. I did have a lot more trades. I had 3 trades inside the top 10, so a little bit crazy. It is mock draft madness, but this has been Bucky Brooks Mock Draft 2.0. If you guys don't know ball and want to know ball, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, let me know in the comments your favorite and least favorite pick from this mock draft. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are growing this channel every day. We appreciate it, and have a good rest of your day.